Good evening, everyone. This is Mickey Rivers here with Weazel News, and I'm joined here at the Progress Party rally by junior member Jordan Malone, current state representative running for re-election. Welcome, Mr. Malone. It's great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you asking or even letting me interview with you guys. I do appreciate that, Mr. Rivers. Hope you're doing well as well.
We are indeed. And I like to open just by talking a little bit about your past experience within, state politics here. Of course, you ran unsuccessfully, but, a very close campaign in the last general election. And then were most recently appointed to the legislature during the last term. Can you tell us a little bit about what that experience was like for you?
So I've actually really enjoyed it. Being under Bex Lawson's wing, her teaching me everything. It's been a lot of work. Seeing firsthand cabinet meetings, just how bills are written, and honestly, it's given me a lot of incentive and a lot of just overall boost to help me write all the bills I've helped write so far, even the ones of my own. So I do enjoy it. It's been a really long ride, but it's as they say in politics, Mickey. It's a sprint, not a marathon. I mean, marathon, not a sprint. Wow, I almost got that wrong. Excuse me.
So, looking over your time here as a state legislator, what would you say has been the most eye-opening experience that you've had thus far that you're going to take with you into the next term should you be reelected?
So one of the key things about that I've noticed, which is like a really eye opener, is just noticing how like the public reacts to certain things. Obviously, you're not gonna make everyone happy in life, but the policies I've made so far have made a little bit of impact already in the state. And then what comes next, hopefully the policies I can hope for push for next term really do help make a bigger impact, because as they say, Mickey, I mean, when you get appointed that late in a term like how I was, there's not much you really can do per se. You basically have to, excuse me, put in the bills you can, but also just be there as an overseer and watch and see what's going on.
All right, and in that short time that you were with the legislature, what would you say is one bill that you feel that you had the greatest opportunity to contribute to or influence during the end of that term?
I would say that. So this is actually a good question, Mickey. Um, the DACA bill that I wrote was a really good one, and so along with that was the, excuse me, the Government Salary Pay Act, which was HR 003 and HR 039, which both of those were entitled to either DACA or the EMT pay raises. But I would say the one that's made the biggest impact so far, and this is going to help out a lot of individuals in the state, and I think excuse me, it would have to be HR 125, which was the Speed Trial Act 2.0, and then also along with that, the other Speed Trial Act, which was HR 117. Both of those were helping out not only legislature, but also the judicial side of things, and helping out with just an overall clarification of the Speed Trial Act to make things simpler for the state.
Okay, and I imagine that in your time here joining the legislature so late in the term, it almost may feel like you're coming into this election, as a fresh candidate, but with some advantages because you've already served some time as a state representative. So, with that in mind, what is one thing that you feel you can hit the ground running with in the next term because of this experience that you've had being part of the state legislature at the end of this previous term?
That's actually an excellent question, Mickey. So one of my bills, I've had it already finished, ready to go, but I was advised by colleagues just to wait until next term and see how things go. But I already have the first bill I already plan on putting in place that if I do get reelected is the Job Wages Act, which raises job wages by $5 among businesses. And
Okay.
that's the first thing I do plan on implementing as soon as I get reelected.
All right, and looking back on the last general election, of course, you had a strong voter base that was behind you, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough to put you in the top five in order to get elected to the state representative position. what's something that you feel the voters of San Andreas should know about you that would make them want to back you as a candidate in this election, even if they didn't feel like you were one of their top choices in the previous election?
Also, another great question. I mean, thinking about it last term, I was still like going into the realm of politics. Obviously, we learn as we go things, excuse me, in this realm. But with me, with my accountability, well, my current slogan is dedication, excuse me, experience, and overall leadership. And with that, that's why I feel that with the experience I've currently had so far and working alongside other state representatives and being there for the working class, these are key things that voters are going to see that this guy actually does care about the public and not just someone that doesn't really care, just wants to get in for the fame, you know?
Uh-huh, uh-huh. And you mentioned previously that one of the things that you know, learned in your time here in the legislature is that because you had such a short time before the end of the term, you spent a lot of time, watching and learning and supporting and, kind of being uh, a guide and kind of a backstop and an advisor because you hadn't had the whole term to build momentum on your own policies. So, looking at your fellow legislators that you had the chance to serve with in this term, what's one thing that you learned from each of them that you want to carry forward into your next term as a legislator should you be reelected?
And again, another great question. I think that learning side by side, especially with veterans like Bex Lawson and Deborah Jackson. I even worked aside with Mon Nash before Mon was out of office. But the point I'm trying to come across is learning with the veterans and seeing how they do things. It makes an impact for people like me and Audrey Storm, for example, who are new into this political realm, like I said earlier. And getting that advice and seeing how things are run, bill writing, how to properly like lead on meetings, take charge. Those are key aspects they're going to lead on for the next terms to come. That they're always going to leave an impact for us as new state representatives that want to help make change and want to make that impact on the state as a whole.
All right. And of course, today we're here at the Progress Party rally, and you are a member of that party. What influenced you to choose the Progress Party over some of the other political parties that exist within the state of San Andreas today?
I would say one of the key big things that we want to push for as a Progress Party, this was stated earlier from Bex Lawson, is that we want to do a penal code overhaul. In that sense, we really want to up to date all the penal codes that are among the state of San Andreas to get the citizens to know that this is how the penal code should be written and how basically up to date for those who know. And along with that, the Progress Party, like we said, we are there for the working class. We do care about those that are working hard out there in the fields, different departments, even per se. So that's why we feel that we're here to help make change and be there for everyone, including those who might be struggling or those who just basically who are striving to get better.
All right. And, as many people may know already, uh, the point of a political party is to come together around shared ideals, but at the same time, each individual has their own, passion, issues, and policies and you're never going to 100% agree on everything. So, for you individually as a politician in this election, what's something that you personally are going to fight for?
So, like I said earlier, one of the key things I want to help push for is job wages. I feel that the working class do not make enough money, and this also gives the incentive. Like, raising the job wages does give incentive for those who are working to help lure away from crime and to actually get that incentive to work harder for whatever company they work for. It could be a mechanic shop, it could be a restaurant, you name it. It could be anything. But along with that, I feel that we should push for also better wages among doctors. The doctors of Mount Zona do a fantastic job, and unfortunately, they're not paid enough as what they should be. So that's one thing I want to help push for as well. Um, the other key thing too is communication. I feel we need to communicate better with the state. not the state as a whole, but just different departments. And that's why one key thing I want to do is work alongside with each department, either if it's state police, LSPD, BCSO, Mount Zona, all the EMTs, work alongside with them individually as a state representative to hear their concerns, but also along with that matter, make sure we are all up to date with things. So that's our big thing is communication on my side.
All right, and following up on the topic of communication, of course, the campaign has been ongoing for about a week now. Throughout your campaign trail so far, are there any particularly issues or policy ideas that have come to light because of your discussions with the voters of San Andreas that you maybe hadn't considered before entering into this campaign?
So to answer your question, there's been ones I've already considered, but hearing more and more of. One of the main concerns that people have been talking about is the police, more so accountability by the police and how they're going to hear things. I've been hearing that more and more so, but that's one of the things that I would like to help for in regards towards maybe like a new system for like the civilians to come forward and say, hey, ran this incident. So it's not always something that they could rely on the cops to do, that more so that state representatives could also hear their concerns, not just the cops per se. The other thing too that, excuse me, the main other thing too that we've been hearing as legislators, especially myself per se, when I've been campaigning, I've been hearing a lot about the polygamy, what's been going on, like what's going to happen with that. And that's something that has been kind of like raised a light for us is the best way of putting it, that the polygamy marriage situation has been a huge problem on the last few weeks that we've been noticing.
All right, and as you said, it is important to engage with different areas of the community throughout San Andreas. So, if the voters of this state were to put you back into office, what's one community within the state that you feel you can do a great job of connecting with and representing today? And what's one community that you want to make a concerted effort to better connect with so that you can better represent their needs?
So, among like, are you talking about, if you're talking about different departments, even civilians as a whole, one key department that I have worked alongside with really well is the LEO side of things. Mount Zona, I've been trying to work my butt off with, but as stated, I mean, right now, one of the key things is that we're trying to host more meetings. But if I were to say, I really want to work more and more with the EMTs, also the fire department, but I would say I'm strongly good with like the LEO side and along with EMS. But that stating, I do believe that we should try and work with them harder so that maybe they could start giving out more like public knowledge, in a sense that I feel that we should almost try and work with them to have like more town halls monthly so that the public can hear what's actually going on in a good sense. They don't have to always hear about a town hall that's about a serial killer. They could also hear about a town hall, just what's going on among departments besides like a basic cabinet town hall is what I'm saying.
Okay. And when it comes to thinking about the rest of your campaign season here, what is it that you think makes you uniquely qualified to connect with the voters of the state in terms of showing them that they have a representative in you who is going to represent their needs?
Well, that's actually an excellent question, Mickey. It goes back to my platform: leadership, dedication, experience. Those are key three things that do help in a politician, and along with that, representing the state as a whole. And the people that want to vote for me, they're going to get all three of those things. I've shown dedication from the 4 bills that I've written myself, and along with the numerous bills I've helped write with Bex Lawson. We are here to help make change. And that's why with my leadership, my dedication, and my overall experience in politics, I feel that the people of San Andreas are going to know that they're in the good hands of somebody like me if they vote for me for state representative again.
All right, and do you have any additional events or rallies or anything like that that the people should know about if they want to connect with you on the remainder of this campaign trail?
As of right now, I will not be hosting another event. This will be the main event for now. as per se, but people can always reach out to me. My number's always in the ad section or even in the government directory section. If you have any questions or comments about my campaign, you're more than welcome to always give me a call. I'm always readily available.
All right, and finally, speaking for yourself as an individual, are there any endorsements that you would like to share for either race in this current election?
So this is one key thing. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be in besides Audrey and Bex. Those are the two mains. I also believe that Jericho Del Monte is another good candidate for the race. James Paxton's also. I wouldn't say that I'm endorsing them, but I would say they're good candidates for the state as well. But among the governor's race, there's not anybody in particular I'm endorsing at this time.
All right, excellent. And before we finish up here, is there any final thoughts that you would like to share with the voters of San Andreas as a candidate in this election?
I believe that just based off everything in this interview that we've given already, Mickey, based off like my platform, experience, leadership, and dedication, the voters will know that how much work I put in just these last 4 months, starting off as a secretary for Bex Lawson, working my way up and becoming appointed state representative. It shows that I'm here in the long run. It shows that I do care about the people of San Andreas and that I do want to help make change. And that's all I really do have to say for today.
Excellent. You heard it here first, folks. My name is Mickey Rivers with Weazel News, and I'm here speaking with Representative Jordan Malone, who is running for re-election in this spring's general election. Thank you, Mr. Malone, for joining us today. And we here at Weazel News wish you the best of luck in your upcoming campaign and the election itself.
Thank you, Mickey, and thank you again, Weazel News, for hosting me for this interview. It's been a pleasure, as always.
And we're out.
And we're good.